how to bring your spouse and your children to join you in Belgium. But I'll also be adding an extra topic today, which is the topic of how to bring your partner over, how to get married in Belgium. Hi guys, welcome and welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Bola Harrison. Kindly stay, keep watching, enjoy, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. You're welcome to join my family and turn on your notification bell so that whenever I put up a new video, you'll be the first to know. Also, before you leave this video, kindly give this video a thumbs up and leave your questions and comments in the comment section. I'll make sure to reply them as soon as I can. Now, the topic I'll be talking about today is one of the most requested topics on this channel: how to bring your spouse and your children to join you in Belgium. But I'll also be adding an extra topic today, which is the topic of how to bring your partner over, how to get married in Belgium. So because we have people who move to Belgium as singles and we have people who move to Belgium as married people. Now, the first category I'm talking about is what is known as family reunification visa. Now, the family reunification visa, as the name implies, is a visa for you to reunite with your family, either your wife, your husband, and your children, or just your children. Now, the marriage visa, as the name implies, is a visa that allows you to come into Belgium to get married to your single partner who is already living in Belgium. So, let's dive right into the topic. So, for the family reunification visa, as a permanent resident or a temporary resident in Belgium, you can apply for a family reunification visa. If you do not know this before, unlike other countries like Sweden, Finland, UK, Canada, US, where you can travel with your spouse immediately during your visa application, in Belgium it's not the same. In Belgium, you as an international student cannot bring in your partner at the same time. As an international student who moves to Belgium or who plans to move to Belgium, you would have to get into Belgium first, do all your paperwork, settle in before you can bring your family over. Now, that process is where your family would apply for the visa, not the short stay visa. The family unification visa, you would apply for it long stay. The long stay visa is the visa that will allow them to stay more than 90 days in Belgium. If you apply for short stay, it means they'll be given maybe less than 3 months, maybe a month to 3 months, and they will have to leave Belgium at the end of that stay. Now, assuming that you've gotten to Belgium as an international student and your school, maybe Ghent University, VUB, guideBringing, anyone you are attending, once you enroll successfully, you will get what is called an inscription document. An inscription document is a document that confirms your enrollment. For inscription document, you'll be given 3 papers. I don't know if it's changed now. So one is you take to the commune, they would give you something that you take to your health insurance company, and the last one is for transport, if I'm remembering correctly. Now, after enrolling successfully in your university and you've gotten the inscription document, you will go to the city hall in your commune to register your presence in Belgium. Now, the process of registration in Belgium differs depending on the city you are living in. If you are living in Leuven or Brussels, Ghent, Antwerpen, depending on where you are living, the process is not the same. The duration it will take for your stay to be legalized and for your resident permit card to be out is also not the same. So sometimes it could take 1 week in some cities, sometimes in some cities it could take 2 to 3 months. Now, when you register your presence in your commune, you will proceed to do your health insurance. In some cases, the commune will require that you do your health insurance first before you come to them. Now, in the case of guideBringing, I know that they are the ones who will tell you when it's time for you to go to the commune. At every step, there will be a guiding mail that you'll be receiving from the school. So when you go to the commune and you've been successful to register your presence, you would have to get an accommodation because the police will need to come check your apartment to confirm that you live there before they will issue your resident permit card. And depending on the duration that the card will take, depending on your commune, you will get your Belgian resident card that contains a unique national identity number that is, unique to you. Now, once you do all of this, and you are now enrolled in your school, you've legalized your stay in Belgium, and your ID card is out, you can start thinking of bringing your family over. Now, there are different requirements on the website for nationals of EU. That's if you are a citizen of any other European country or a citizen of Belgium, the rules is different for you to bring in a spouse. If you are a national of a third country, that you are not an EU citizen, so let me use the word a non-EU citizen, the rules are different. Now, to bring your spouse, you and your spouse must have been married and over the age of 21 So you must have married the person you are claiming to bring in, because they will require proof of relationship. You will also need your marriage certificate. So you must have married the person before you came into Belgium. It's not a court certificate or a marriage certificate you can get when you're already in Belgium. That's one. Number two, if you are bringing your children, the child or the children you are bringing in must be at least, as in the maximum age they can be is 18. If you're an EU citizen or a Belgian citizen that is planning to bring your spouse who is a non-EU citizen, or your children who are, your children into Belgium, then your children can at most be 21 years old. But for non-EU citizens or non-Belgians, your child must not be older than 18 years old. So these are the two rules that first applies. Your partner and yourself must be over 21 years old, because that's the legal age of marriage in Belgium. Then your children must not be over 18 years of age. Also, the child you are bringing in must not be married. Some people get married early. So if you are claiming that this person is a child, the person must not be over 18 and the person must not be married. That's the first major reason or the major point that applies to family unification. Now, other documents you would need are, number one, proof of accommodation, that you have sufficient and adequate accommodation to accommodate the people you are bringing in. Now, basically, the family unification for students, if you are bringing your wife or your child, is the same rules that apply to you as a student. That's what applies to them. But in this case, you that are living in Belgium already, the house you are staying, as a student, we can stay in small rooms, you can stay in student dormitory. But if you are bringing your wife or your child, you cannot house them in a student dormitory or in a single room. You must rent the house the type of housing that have been specified under the family unification law, because they have the type of accommodation you'll be staying. Most times it has to be like a 2-bedroom apartment if you are bringing in your child. A suitable accommodation for a family, that's where you'll be staying. So that definitely the amount you pay as a student in a student dorm, definitely you will not get the same amount for a 2-bedroom apartment in Belgium. It's not possible. Another thing you're going to need is proof of insurance. So as an international student or as an employed person in Belgium, you definitely, insurance is very, very compulsory. So once you are bringing your partner or your child into Belgium, you would go back to your insurance company and add that person you are bringing in to your insurance plan. So once you add them, you will get a proof from the insurance, ask for a copy of the registration, and you will send it to the applicant who is applying for the long stay family unification visa. In Belgium here, once you come here, you register with a local GP or a GP in your place of residence. You have a doctor that you go to whenever you have any health related challenges. So to apply for the family unification visa, what do you need? The first thing you would need for you who are applying from your home country is your international passport. I will advise that you have an international passport that is valid for more than 6 months, even more than 1 year, and at least to have like 2 years on it, because the length of stay remaining for your sponsor is the person who is living in Belgium. If the person has 6 months, 8 months, 1 year left on their resident card, that's what you'll be given. But in most cases, the Belgian consular will give you a 1 year long stay visa under family unification. Now, once you get that, that's for your international passport. The second thing you will need is to fill the application form. Obviously, you fill the application form. Everything the sponsor, who is a student, did when he was applying, that's almost the same thing you are going to do. The third thing you are going to need is your proof of relationship. In this case, your marriage certificate, maybe your newspaper publication, anything you can use to certify that you are married to this person, and this proves your relationship to the person. Now, again, like I said, you cannot claim marriage of when the person already arrived in Belgium. It has to be before the person reached or migrated to Belgium. Another document you'll be needing is your sponsor's valid resident permit. So say you're coming to meet your partner in Belgium. I'll be referring to your partner now as sponsor. That's the term for it. So say you're coming to meet your sponsor has a valid stay. So the person will give you a copy of their Belgian resident permit and you will attach it to your application. If your sponsor is a Belgian, or if your sponsor is an EU citizen, they would also be attaching a copy of their passport, of their Belgian passport to it. Even if your sponsor is an international student, he or she will give you a copy of their resident permit and a copy of their international passport, the data page fully copied. Going further, you also need to show proof of medicals. Now, if you're applying from your home country, each Belgian consulate have a registered or approved medical place that they use for medicals. So you go there to do your medicals. Then your sponsor, who is in Belgium, would also go to his general practitioner or the practice he uses to get a medical certificate from there. You have to check the website to know which one you can use. For those in Belgium, they can go to their GP. So you that you're outside of Belgium, that's the applicant, you would also have to go to the approved Belgian hospital, that's the Belgian consulate approved hospital, to get your medical certificate, which you'll be attaching to your application. Now, the final document I'll talk about is the proof of funds. That's proof of sufficient finances. You know, as a student, you have 3 means to show your proof of fund when you are applying for your Belgian visa. You have the block account method, the sponsorship method, and scholarship. But under this case, a scholarship will not cover you and cover your family, so it means that you are bearing the cost for bringing your family to Belgium. Now, if you came to Belgium under block account, you have to set a block account for your partner whom you are inviting to join you in Belgium, or your child. Now, if you use Annex 32, which is the present charge, that's a guarantor to stand for yourself as a student, you also have to find a guarantor who will stand for your wife or for your child whom you are bringing into Belgium. So whatever method you used applies to your family you are bringing in as well. So say you use block account, you have to set up 11,500 euros for your wife and for your child. So that proof of finance, if it's Annex 32, which is the guarantor, will be sent to the applicant in their home country, and they will attach to the application. If you are using a block account, the university where you school will set up a block account for you, for your partner, and they will give a certificate which they will also attach to their application in original copy. That's for family unification. Family unification duration, that's the length of application period or the length of approval period, depends on where you are applying from. It depends on the consular handling your file, and it depends on if there's any complexities or not. If there are no issues, then you should get your visa. If there are issues, then it could take time, but at least it will not be more than 9 months. So you should get your decision anytime from a week to 9 months, depending on the person handling your file. Now, for EU citizens or Belgians, they can bring their parents, grandparents, anyone under their care. They can bring them to join them under family unification. But as a non-EU citizen, you can only bring your partner, that's your wife or husband, and your children or child. That's all. That's the only thing the only people you can bring. Now, here's the catch. Unlike in the US, Canada, UK, where you bring your spouse and they can work. In fact, in the UK, you bring your spouse, they can work full-time, they can work more than 40 hours, or minimum of the benchmark of 40 hours or 35 hours. Here in Belgium, if you bring your spouse to Belgium under family unification, they cannot study and they cannot work. That's the catch. They will join you, the student, you can work, but your spouse cannot work, your child cannot work, and they cannot study. For if they want to change their visa to a work visa, it's an entirely different process, and it's very long and complicated. Now, if they want to study, they have to apply and change their visa. It's another complicated process, because here in Belgium, they like paperwork a lot. Everything is, have to follow prime and proper, follow the rules and regulation. Now, so your partner will join you, but they cannot work. So everything that applies to you applies to your partner, except for the fact that your partner would not be able to work or study. So if you are renewing your visa the following year again, maybe you are still studying for 2 years, or you're studying for 4 years as a PhD student, or you are working, if you are renewing your visa, you would renew again for your partner. Everything you did for them to be here, or everything you would do as a student to renew, is the same thing you would do for your partner or for your child, for them to renew, for your dependents, for them to renew. So everything that applies to you, the liberties that applies to you applies to them. No difference, and they will get at least 1 year or less, depending on the remaining duration on your resident card as a student. So I hope that that's clear. Now, for the other category of people, those who move to Belgium as single people, you can come to Belgium as a single person, no big deal about that. And if you decide that during your stay you met somebody, either a Belgian, a non-EU citizen, or an EU citizen, and you want to marry, or you as a non-EU citizen or you as a EU citizen, you want to marry somebody who is outside of Belgium, you would let that person apply for the marriage visa. So the person will be applying for marriage visa. Now, for the marriage visa, in the duration of the 6 months you'll be given to come to Belgium to get married, you would come to Belgium, fix your dates, get married. In that 6 months, you apply for the stay that will allow you to stay legally or long term in Belgium, to cohabit with your partner. So that visa is a visa. It's not a short-term visa. It's a different category of visa. It's called a C-type visa. that allows you to marry in Belgium and stay in Belgium with your spouse. Now, most people that I've seen apply for the marriage visa are those who are already working in Belgium. I've not really seen students apply for the marriage visa, but I've seen those who are living in Belgium, who are employed in Belgium, that's under work visa, bring their spouse that they want to get married. So if you are a Belgian or an EU citizen that is dating or wanting to get married to a non-EU citizen, or whoever it is that they're outside of Belgium, they will have to apply for marriage visa, the visa that allows you to legally cohabit with your spouse. Now, there's another type of visa. It's called a partnership visa. That one, you are not getting married or you have not been married, but you are legally cohabiting with a Belgian or an EU citizen who lives here. Marrying an EU citizen or marrying a Belgian does not automatically give you citizenship. It does not automatically give you permanent residency, but the person can apply alongside with you, apply for, you know, your partnership visa, that visa that allows you to also stay with your Belgian partner or your EU partner here in Belgium. The process is also different. You would also attach their document. The police will come to your house to check that both of you are cohabiting together, because the partnership visa is the visa that says, I'm living with my boyfriend or my girlfriend, we don't plan to get married, but we're living together under the same roof. So I need a visa that will allow my partner to stay with me. So if you're a Belgian or a non-EU citizen, or you're dating a Belgian or a non-EU citizen, and you want them to file partnership visa for you, you must both be living together. In most cases, like, you have pictures of yourself, maybe your pictures of your date, pictures of you, special events hanged in your house, because the police will come in to check. They will check the confirm that your residency bears the both of your names. So at the key doorbell, you have your name and your partner's name there, so that when the police come, they'll check. Sometimes they will even come inside your house to look around to check. Maybe your load is inside the house and your pictures are in the place, so that they can confirm that indeed you are not just using that partnership visa to get visa and run away, that you are indeed cohabiting with an EU citizen or a Belgian. So those are the ways that you can bring your spouse or family or live with your spouse here in Belgium. I hope that I've been able to answer this question. For international students, you have to consider the fact that bringing in your family, you can't bring them in a student dormitory. If not, it will be flagged. And the application fee, the price, it differs depending on where you are applying from. So again, check the Belgian consulate or the Belgian embassy website in your home country to confirm what applies to you, what you'll be attaching. Of course, if you are bringing in your children, you have to add their birth certificate. If you have given birth before and you have a child and you are married another person, you have to get consent from the other parents of that child if you alone cannot provide document necessary to show that this child is your child. So guys, that's everything about how to bring your spouse and your children to live with you in Belgium as a family, or for you to live in Belgium with your partner under marriage visa or under partnership visa. I hope I've been able to answer your question. If you have further questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section, and please click the description box of this video to see further information. I'll put some links there where you can find this information to verify, but still cross-check with the Belgian consulate or Belgian embassy in your home country. This is everything that I know on this topic, and I hope that it will help you out in your application. See you in my next video. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.